Welcome everybody to the Grimdark Breakdown. Today we're going to talk about how to use your Helbrute. So I know a lot of people have said like, oh, the Helbrute's great, the Helbrute's terrible, the Helbrute's great, the Helbrute's terrible. So here's the thing. If you are a super meta player and you are winning GTs, this isn't for you, okay? Here's who this video is for. If you are playing World Eaters and you are having a hard time winning games, do I think a Helbrute is the greatest thing in our list? No, I do not. But do I think a Helbrute will immediately take you from a 1-4 record to a 3-2 record? I absolutely think it can. Helbrutes are devastating in the low to mid table. When you get into the high table, they're still very good. You just have to be a lot smarter with pre-planning where you're going to bring it in, because players, they respect Mr. Brute because he is not a nice man. He is not a nice man. So I want to use this game I played against Guard to show you where and how you should do it. So just to set the framework, I was going second. This is turn 2. On turn 1, I kind of staged. He came out into the middle. Top of turn 2, I sent my first 20-man brick in. I killed a Chimera. I killed 20 jungle fighters, took over the mid board. I lost a few units to Overwatch, nothing crazy. But what was left of that 20-man is now just standing right there in the middle. Okay. I fully expected this close Rogel is going to just light them up, and then I'll obviously blood surge in, and it'll be what it's going to be. Not a big deal. Now, here's the $1 million question: is where should we bring in the magical man? So you could look at two different scenarios. So let me go ahead and put a 9-inch bubble on this guy because for some reason it's not there. Okay, now we got our bubbles. All right, so he's got to come in 9 inches away, right? So there's a couple options. So there is one great option right here. You could come in right here. You give him a little spinsy dudesies, and he is perfectly safe. And on his next turn, he's going to go 9 inches to here. And then you're literally looking at, a 5-inch charge, a 3-inch charge. So like this is potentially a very, very sexy option, because you got to keep in mind the way his ability works is when he gets hit, he gets to hit back. There is not, so we'll pull it up real quick so you can see. There isn't actually a cap, because what it states is each time an enemy targets this unit after it finishes making an attack, then it can go ahead and fight back. So it doesn't say can only do it once, just says it has to be eligible target. So this one is a sexy target right here. You also have a very sexy target down here, because you could put him all the way down here. He's nice and tucked in and safe. He's going to move his lovely 9 inches. And then you have basically a guaranteed charge here. Now the downside is that if you roll a slow charge, you're not going to be able to get into this tank. So you really are going to need like a 4, and then maybe you need like a 6 that would get you right around in here, because then what you're looking at is you could pop your 6-inch pylon and consolidate, and you could move right over. So with this, you're going to move your 9, and then once you get over into this area, you're going to need about a 6 on your charge so that you can tag both of these units. Now, I know that this one could be really appetizing, because you're going to kill the Chimera and you're going to kill the Rogel. But here's the thing you got to think about. This Chimera has got 10 dudes inside of it. And so let's just pretend if he is a smart player, he could try to scam you in the hope that you don't kill his jungle fighters. And what I mean by this, let's say you land like here as an example. Okay. You blow it up. These guys are smart and are small enough that he can do one of these. And if you're unable to kill them as you pile in, because you'll pile in and you'll get to fight them, but if you don't kill all 10, then you wouldn't get to do your activation into the door, which is what you really, really want to do. Secondarily, the other thing is you want to have your double tap on the tank. You don't want one activation's unlikely to kill the door. So the safer play is to come up here, because if you're coming up here, what you got to keep in mind is now, okay, I've rapid ingressed. So you can go, all right, great. I'm going to be right here. And then on my turn, I'm going to go my lovely 9 inches. I only have to land, as you can see, because you measure towards any part of the hole, a 5-inch charge. Because here's where this gets awesome. So you come in here. Here's the best part about Mr. Helbrute himself, okay? All right, I had to double check it, so I made sure I didn't get it wrong. So the lovely hammer, it's 6 attacks. So I'm going to show you what this kind of boils down to. So you're going to have 6 attacks, but because you got 2 melee weapons, you get an extra 2 attacks. So you got 8 attacks. Now, I'm going to just go law of averages here, all right? So we'll move this lovely bad boy over here. So it hits on a 4. That's the stinky part of it. So 4 of those dice are going to be gone straight away on the misses. But you're going to, like, in a perfect world, you're going to have lethal and sustains up while you make this charge in there. So one of these is going to go to the lethals. One is going to come into the sustain. So now you got 4 hits. Now it's strength 14. So you're wounding on 3s, which means 33% of the dice are going to miss, which means statistically, if you're looking at 4 dice, you're going to miss 1 dice. That's it. So now you're serving him 4 wounds at -3. That bad boy is going to save on a 5. Here's where things get super spicy. It means 16%, which means statistically all 4 will go through, but we're going to go on the side of, let's be super cautious. We'll say he saves 1, which would be being a little generous. All right. So these are going to be D6 plus 1, which means they're 4 damage apiece, because you're going to average a 3 and then you get to add plus 1. So now you've just done 12 damage to this lovely Rogel. So we're going to do some simple math here. It's going to take him down to 4. He's going to bump and scoot you with his, armored tracks, which will do nothing. And then you're going to go, okay, cool story. I'm going to swing again. I literally just need to basically wound you once. And you've now killed that. And guess what? These lovely troopers are right next to you. You can then pile into the troopers. They would then get to activate, and they're going to try to get as many in as you can, but you can see there's not a ton over here, right? I mean, they're all stacked on each other because it's kind of what guard does, but he might, if I'm going to be generous, get 6. Okay, great. So he does maybe, let's say 3 damage. Be real generous there. 2 damage. Cool. Then again, I'm just showing you how, like, this, he's so versatile and how he can really do. So he got to fight. The tank hit him. Rules is written. I get to hit you back. Now I'm going to pile in to your lovely, lovely, lovely little guardsman here. Okay. And in all honesty, what I would have really done is, he was about here. I would have said, okay, 3 inches. I'm going to pile in right here. So we'll say these guys attack him. Now he gets to attack with his Scourge weapon, the Scourge. So that's 12 attacks. Here's the cool part. We're only going to miss, of those 12, statistically, you got to think about it this way. So let's do it to show and make it easy. If you have 6 attacks, okay, and it is hitting on 3s, that means it is going to miss 2, which means it's going to get 8 hits statistically. All right. If it also has 12 attacks, that means 2 of those hits are going to be lethals and 2 of them are going to be sustained. So now you are going to be going in there and you are going to be absolutely, oh, it didn't give me both dice. There we go. Yes. So you should have a total of 8 hits with 2 lethals. Had to double check my math there. So beautiful part is you're wounding on 2s. So one of these is going to drop out. And, oh, that's where the other dice went. You're going to kill, on average, 9 guardsmen. This is a 20-man brick, so I get it. But you've just killed 9 guardsmen. And they have 2 choices. They can either kill from back here to keep an engagement, or they could kill to get you out of engagement, and then it's going to be your turn next, and you get to do it all over again. So the problem that he's going to be now faced with is it's going to transition to my turn, which sure, you get to hit me. And then guess what? I'm going to hit you back and I'm going to kill another 9 guardsmen. So this one Helbrute has come over, yeeted this tank off the table, and by the end of my turn, he's going to have killed 18 of these guardsmen before they get, or the Bulgrin and probably 5 guardsmen the first time, and then he'll kill 9 the second. So he is going to have absolutely nuked this unit down to where now this entire side of the board is wide, wide open. So the Helbrute can be such a good tool if you use him appropriately. In the example of down here, I'm not going to do all the math, but he would statistically come in and he would yeet the Chimera off the table. He would come in and it's rough. You would need to roll really good on your sustains. If you get 3 or 4 sustains, he would kill all 10 jungle fighters and then he would go into the tank, and you probably could hurt the tank really bad, but not kill it. The reason I don't think this is as good of a play is in a guard list like this, when they have these 2 big tanks, getting one of those tanks off the board, especially in turn 2, basically wins the game for you. Like that once they have lost that giant shooting platform, even though he's got a ton of stuff off the board, his giant pressure, he has nothing that can make my 20-man scared of just charging at him. So using your Helbrute and picking the appropriate target, even though over here I theoretically can kill 2 things and hurt a third, the value of actually killing this one bigger thing and then neutering this 20-man squad is significantly higher. And that's how you should be using your Helbrutes. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope this gives you some insight. If you've got other ways you like to use Mr. Helbrute, drop it in the comments and let me know. But because I've been trolled, because I say the same thing on all of them, regardless if I'm talking about my lovely eaters, I'll switch it up. So drop a like for the Blood God and subscribe for more 40K content. Thanks, y'all.